an intern in Kennedy's White House had an 18-month-long affair with him.
If you can possibly imagine, JFK had an affair with a young girl. Weren't they sort of playing with rubber duckies most of the time or something?
There was some talk of rubber duckies, yeah.
Welcome to News Beast. We have a very dirty beast for you today with some sexy stories out of the Romney campaign and the JFK presidency. Ben Jacobs is joining us. Ben has a great story on the Beast today about a pretty spicy donor to the Romney campaign.
I'm not sure if he would call himself particularly spicy, but he's certainly spicy by the standards of the Romney campaign. So who is he? He's a gentleman named Daniel Staton, who is chairman of the board of the parent company of Penthouse.
Oh.
And he maxed out to Mitt Romney at hedge capital fund event that was held in Boca, Florida.
So Mitt Romney may be the least sexy presidential candidate ever, just in terms of his politics and his background. Why him?
I wasn't able to reach him for that. He, for some reason, didn't want to talk about, I'm not sure if he didn't want to talk about Penthouse or Mitt Romney. But,
what do your other sources say? What is your?
But I talked to the president and CEO, who of the company, who incidentally is a max-out donor to Barack Obama, and they're, of course, a technology company. Penthouse is just a small percentage of their brand. But it struck me as being particularly interesting because Romney has distanced himself from sort of the slightest hint of impropriety in his campaign, and that taking money from the guy who owns Penthouse is somewhat,
Lucas has something to say about Penthouse.
Has there been any response to this, or I mean, has the Romney campaign said they'd return the money?
I haven't been able to reach the Romney campaign on it yet. That I think they've been caught up, especially because there's CPAC today, and they're speaking to the conservative youth of America.
So let's go from Penthouse to JFK interns. Lucas, what is this story?
This is seemingly the kind of story that would appear in Penthouse, and yet it seems to be true. That an intern in Kennedy's White House had an 18-month-long affair with him.
If you can possibly imagine, JFK had an affair with a young girl.
It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
I
know. We're all shocked.
Like we've had a long series of these books come out with people confessing various misdeeds with JFK. Enough already. This is like women talking about Bill Clinton. We get it.
I know this may be the last one, but I also think this one is sort of maybe the one that finally kind of breaks the dam, and that we this rosy picture of Kennedy is finally kind of just almost completely dissipated.
I don't agree with you at all.
No?
I think that rosy picture of Kennedy is fixed in the American imagination, and no amount of like philandering or
torrid
misdeeds.
details from the White House pool can erase that.
Yeah, I don't think so. Weren't they sort of playing with rubber duckies most of the time, or
there
something?
There was some talk of rubber duckies, and visits to Jackie's bedroom and things like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
that's brutal.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to talk today about. It looks like the Obama administration is finally going to backtrack from this horrible mistake it seems they made a couple of weeks ago in not exempting Catholic schools, institutions, organizations from rules requiring them to provide birth control to their employees. The administration has said that they're going to announce something today. Conservatives expect it to be far from enough, but we see them slowly backpedaling away from what really seemed to be a senseless move so early in the campaign. There are 77 million Catholics in this country, and if they weren't energized about Mitt Romney before, maybe this is the thing that's going to do it.
So my question is, who's running things in the White House? Who let this happen?
Maybe the same people who are running things from the Komen Foundation. We've seen these just terrible missteps. Well, actually, Ari Fleischer was running things from the Komen Foundation.
From their perspective, it may not be a misstep. I mean, I think the White House, the argument for why they did this was that this affects millions of women and making sure that they get access to contraception, their health insurance equally, and that there seemed to be a lot of issues within the White House and questions with infighting because different factions within the West Wing felt differently about this, and that this may be ongoing.
I think there's probably no question that they had good intentions with this, but there's also no question that it was just a bomb PR-wise. I mean, it's dominated cable news for 2 weeks now, for a week and a half, and he didn't need to do anything. The Republicans are tearing themselves apart right now, and to me, it seems like a terrible misstep, although who knows. All right, we're gonna wrap up. Ben, one final word to encapsulate what's going on in the news today.
Pizza Ranch.
Pizza Ranch, kind of out of the blue, but awesome. Lucas?
Internships.
Internships. And I'm going to go with backtrack. That's all from us at Newsbeast. We'll see you next week.